Hello and welcome to today's Friday live cartooning lesson. My name is Dan Lietha for the Ministry Reasons for Hope, and today we're going to do something a little different than we've been doing over the last few weeks. The last few weeks we've been drawing kind of fun cartoon versions of animals, and I've been using reference of different creatures that are some of my favorites anyway. Well, today we're going to do some different creatures. We're going to do some human creatures. So one of the things, if you've seen any of my artwork over the past while, you'll know that one of the things that I love to draw are caricatures. And so that's a skill that has taken me many, many years. And it's something that if you have any interest in doing caricatures, you should start now. So today we're just going to draw some fun faces and we'll go through some of the basics on how to draw a caricature and how to capture a likeness. So let's pull up the magic drawing board, and we're gonna look at some faces here. Now today we're just gonna start with guys. Guys, I'm a guy, so guys are easy to draw for me. If there's enough reaction to this, maybe I'll carry it on caricature lessons for a few weeks, and next week we would do some ladies. So, but today we're going to start out with some guys. So let's draw this guy here, and I'm going to try to go fairly fast, nothing too detailed. But again, I'm going to start out with a sketch, and then we'll draw over the top of that. Maybe these won't be so refined. I'm trying to get more of the principle of how to do a caricature across than a finished drawing here. So what's the first thing that that you know or notice about this guy here, and what makes him look like him? That's really what a caricature artist does. Is, say I'm at a place and I've got my easel and stuff set up, and people are sitting down in front of me, and I'm drawing faces, which I've done lots of. What's the first thing a caricature artist does? He makes it, or he or she analyzes this face very quickly. And so I'm noticing that this guy has a very particular shape to his face. All right. So it's a very long triangle, okay? Or a triangle, rectangle. I'll get my shape straight here. So basically he has a rectangle for a face, and so those basic observations right away will help you kind of tune in to the components of the look of your subject, or your victim, if you want to put it that way. All right, so I'm going to say that's his hair up on top there, and then he's got these glasses. Now we can exaggerate those glasses if we want to. Again, we're just trying to break this guy down into different components. You know what? I'm going to change that a little bit, because this needs to be longer. All right, so I'm along the way here. I'm gonna, oops, let's get my eraser out here. Make this guy a little bit longer caricature. I should have put the glasses in first. Usually what I do is I'll start with the eyes and then build out from there. Different caricature artists do things different ways. So let's just kind of assemble the components of his face, and that hair is going to be a lot taller. All right, and one of the things that a caricature artist will hear over the years, many times, is people will say, well, they'll define a caricature as this face where they make your nose big, a drawing of your face where they make your nose big. And what's the thing you notice about this guy right here? Does he have a big nose? He actually doesn't. So I'm not gonna emphasize that. Again, I'm looking at the shapes that he has on his face, and then I am looking for some shapes that would be easier to kind of exaggerate a little bit. And then you're looking for relationships between the different components. Trying to get the basic shapes for each of those components. Now I've widened his smile a little bit because that's got a good shape. And it's kind of funny too, if you look at different caricature artists, they will draw the same face many different ways. And so it's good to follow artists that you like, but as a starting place, because you'll find your own way of capturing that likeness. All right, so another thing that I would highly recommend, if you want to draw a caricature, you want to get good at drawing caricatures, is just start drawing portraits, faces. Get to know the anatomy of the face. This guy has tiny ears. And I want to probably chop a little bit of this stuff up too. So that's one of the challenges of drawing caricatures, especially live caricatures, is you've got an audience that is watching you. And so that's a pressure situation. Lots of stress there. All right, I want to scooch my drawing down a little bit because this guy's got hair that needs to be exaggerated. That's one of the features here that I would exaggerate on him. Because it's very outstanding. Oh, and then it goes this way on this side. Now, if I'm drawing this live, which I haven't done for a while, so I may be a little rusty, but if I'm drawing this live, hey, Katie, amazing how much this basic outline already looks so much like the gentleman in the photo. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's just capturing the basic shapes, and then you just, once you start building, that's how the likeness comes about. And again, it takes practice, and I'm thinking, man, I should have left a little more space down at the bottom. All right, so thank you. Again, we're just going to sketch these in. I have a number of faces I want to try to draw for you. So if you have any questions about drawing faces, caricatures, I've got some stories I'm going to be sharing about them. And so for his eye here, he's got very kind of, you can simplify him like that. I've got a friend that draws caricatures for a living. It's part of what I do, but he does this all the time. And he's got this way of capturing the eyes in just a few lines. And it's amazing how quick he does that. One tip too about the eyes is that if you mess up the eyes, the rest of the caricature won't work. And I don't know that I've drawn all that great a job here with these eyes, but again, I'm trying to go fast. Here's another secret. If you have your caricature drawn at a theme park, and I've said this before in other videos, don't do it first thing in the morning. Give the artist a bit of a chance to warm up. And let me and then he will be warmed up later on in the day, and you'll get a lot better product from him later on. Let's kind of try to give some more final lines here rather than just all the sketchy ones. So something like that. Draw his neck in there. So that's in the ballpark. I'm going to give myself maybe a B- on that one. All right, let's go to the next picture. So, but outstanding care. He's got glasses. He's got the hair. He's got the beard. He's got these components that kind of make it easier on an artist. These landmark type of things. This guy too has some very outstanding features that would make it, I don't know, easier to draw him because, analyze the shape of the face. So he's got more of a round head with point. It's kind of a point down at the bottom here. So, and then look at the hair. He's got these round glasses. Glasses can be kind of a trick to draw too, because they're so symmetrical, and you got to get one lens the same as the other. They're easy to mess up. But I'm going to try to... Now this guy, again, does not have a big nose. So again, I'm starting with kind of the middle of the face where his glasses are. You know, I'm kind of messing up those glasses a little bit. Putting where his eyes are. And then I'm thinking about, okay, how do I draw that next piece that's sort of close in the neighborhood? And then I build out. Again, he's got a smaller smile. I like the again, the shape of the smile, the opening of his mouth gives you a distinct, it's one of the components of what he looks like. So, but then he's got that beard too. So I was gonna kind of trace the face. If you just did his glasses and his beard and his hair, maybe put in his eyebrows, you would get a picture, kind of a basic breakdown of those pieces that would make him sort of look like he does. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was in high school, I had a math teacher who had a very very distinct look because of his haircut, and he had a little dinky nose, and he had these glasses and eyebrows. And one day, math was not my topic, just put it that way. So I started drawing his face, and within just a little bit, I'd do the glasses, I'd do the nose, the eyebrows, and bam, I had it. It was like this little logo likeness of him, and it was funny. Just little moments like that, I think, are things that kind of ignite a young artist and think, wow, that was fun. I want to do some more of that. One of the things too about caricatures is that the artist can get really carried away, and you can just go to town and exaggerate like crazy. And so there's the level of caricature that you shoot for. That's up to you. One bit of advice is that most people would rather see a likeness than you going to town just with crazy distortion and stuff on their on their face. I think most people want to, because one of the things is that if you draw their face live and then you show it to them, they always go, "Do I look like that?" Which is funny because, one, it's a caricature. I'm supposed to be, distorting your face a little bit and highlighting different features, and not just the nose. But they kind of wonder then, okay, what are you saying here? Because you've drawn me in a particular way, especially well, some people can be very sensitive about their face. So my happy medium is, again, depending upon the person. Some people have more to caricature than others, and but I tend not to go for the wild caricature. This guy's teeth are at the bottom. So something like that. So again, just kind of in the neighborhood, getting a feel for this guy. I hope you kind of observing the building out process of this. Now let's move on to our next victim. Now this guy will be interesting because he has an expression on his face. Usually when you're drawing people live, you try to get them to strike a smile that they can hold for a while. And so this guy has an unusual expression on his face that you probably wouldn't get if you draw a live subject. But again, look at the shape of his face. Now his head shape is more of a long oval. It's got a round part down here, and then it's a little more pointed up on top because of his hair. So that's kind of the basic shape of his head. And then we're gonna figure out where his eyes are. One thing too, in this day and age, especially where there's lots of ethnic and racial, I use that word because everyone else is using it. I don't believe that that there's more races in this world than just one, the human race. But it can be an interesting, I'm a light-skinned individual who didn't grow up around a lot of genetic variety up in the north. And so the faces that I learned how to draw looked more in my neighborhood, more in my ballpark of facial features and skin tones and such. And so when I started drawing live caricatures, one of the things that that really became a fear factor for me was when people that looked different than me would sit down in front of me. I didn't want to insult, and I didn't want to. So drawing the differences was very difficult for me at first, and then it just kind of hit me once that just stereotypes can be tough, and so you're drawing caricatures, and you know faces have different qualities of them, and so I didn't want to get accused of hey, you're stereotyping, and that's all that sort of thing. But it just kind of hit me after a while that, listen, just draw what you see, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to capture the likeness, and so that's what I sort of tried to concentrate on doing. And then, I mean, how much trouble can you get in for just, like I said, I wasn't exaggerating a ton. So this guy's got he's got his mouth kind of, the top is over on one side and the bottom lip is over on the other side. So that's very funny. He's kind of got his cheek up there. But again, learning the anatomy of a face really helps. And then when you get the pieces and parts down as far as what they are, then you can exaggerate, and you can use that basis of knowledge of what things are to exaggerate them. I find faces fascinating. In fact, when I would have people sit down in front of me at the Creation Museum when I was drawing there. I used to do that on Saturdays. And some people I'd start telling them about the analyzing I'm doing of their face. Sometimes they would look like people that I've known in the past, or people that that are recognizable from movies or TV, or sometimes you just see these likenesses. So I don't know if I'm hitting a home run on this guy or not. He's got a lot of facial features that are very fun to work with, and I love that expression. So these sketches are something more like I would draw starting out my caricature, and then I would ink over the top. So I would do these in pencil, and then but it's good to kind of step out of your comfort zone, and if you're going to draw caricatures live, practice drawing people that look a bit different from you. It's just easy and comfortable to stay in your same range of faces and such, and it's fun to have a little challenge. And so I would probably refine that one quite a bit if I went to finish. So again, I'm just trying to get the overall feel, have you watch me construct a face, look for the basic shapes. So let's move on to our next photo. I think we've got at least time for one more. And I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to skip to the last one. I've got two more left. This one's a little more tricky because the other ones were full straight on, which I highly recommend doing those first. Everything is straightforward. The face hasn't turned, because when you change the direction of the face, then the the nose changes and the ears and the eyes, the eye relationship. It's easier to learn those things straight on first. But here we got a guy that's got some very good caricature qualities here too. But he's got a 3/4. It's not a full profile. He's got his head turned so you can see that other eye back there. But I just saw this photo and I thought I gotta include this one. And he's got a bigger nose, and so he's one that someone might take and caricature their nose bigger. So maybe we can do that. I'm just getting the basic shape down here. Let's see. So another thing about caricatures is it's a lot of quick reaction. What do you see right away? And you might not be able to do that right away as you're starting out, but as there, already changing things there. But as you get into doing this more and more and more, it's a good exercise to do that first reaction sprint. What do you see? I don't, like I said, I don't usually exaggerate live caricatures anyway too much, because generally people aren't looking for that. Every once in a while you'll get someone that'll sit down and go, okay, let me have it, and you're going, yes. So but not too much. He's got like his lips kind of stick out a little bit too. It's kind of funny. And then his chin and beard is sort of small. Something like that. I'm just all over the place today. There we go. But yeah, the 3/4 view is, again, once you've got the straight on, get that down, then you can start pushing the envelope a little bit and comfort zone and, do the different angles of the face. And get that down. So caricatures are fun. I've done them for ministry. At the Creation Museum, it was a fun thing for people to get a little souvenir from the Creation Museum, and some people knew who I was, and so that was fun to talk with people and meet them. But I've also done them as fundraisers for different ministries. It's a pro-life place here in the Northern Kentucky area called New Hope Center, and so I've done them for their father-daughter balls, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, caricatures can be something that you use for ministry. It's not just all ridiculous, and I think God has created a sense of humor that we can enjoy, and I'm not trying to insult. Usually, most of my caricatures, by and large, are not tools for insulting people. Even when I'm drawing cartoons of people that I disagree with, I try not to what I call throw pies in faces. I don't think there's much benefit in doing that. In fact, I would strongly recommend that people kind of check your motives in posting things, because I think most of them are just cheap insults that have no content in them. So if you're just making, someone look bad, does the thing comment on what they've said or their philosophy or whatever, versus just throwing a pie in someone's face. So, all right. Well, we've gotten to our 3:00 time here, and again, each one of these I'd probably go back and refine them a bit, but there's I got it in the ballpark. Let's put it that way. Likenesses can be very, very tricky, and sometimes if I'm working on a studio caricature, I will step away from it for a while and then come back, and you'll see things that that you're missing as you're kind of tuned in to drawing the first version of it. That getting fresh eyes is very, very valuable. So I haven't drawn caricatures live now for a while. I might have an opportunity to do some of that this summer. I'm going to be speaking at some Bible camps, and so I try as I'm able to draw some of the campers and get to know them that way too. So again, ministry opportunity with caricature. It's a lot of fun, but I might have to be doing some warming up before I step into the live arena. Now I've done this on live camera here, but yeah, they'll sit down live on marker with paper. It's a whole different ballgame. So, but a lot of fun. So hopefully next week I can find some ladies with some fun faces, and I can kind of talk a little bit about the differences between drawing men and women. And that's a whole other stretching the envelope comfort zone for me too. I find women much more difficult to draw than men because, well, one, I relate to the guys more, but ladies are so particular, and drawing beauty it's different. So God made us men and women different, and so it takes a bit of practice to kind of accurately reflect that in a drawing. So, but this is Dan Lietha for Reasons for Hope, and I hope you've enjoyed today's drawing lesson and drawing demo. So join me next time, Fridays at 2:30 Eastern Time, right here on the Reasons for Hope YouTube channel. And have a great weekend.